Good morning. Okay, Frankie, come say hi. Come on, jump. Good boy. Look at that handsome boy. Your mama's prince, huh? Oh. I just love this guy. Okay, so seems like forever since I've been here. I'm a little groggy, but I have my hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. How are you? Do you do something for yourself first thing in the morning to help you adjust into the day? A prayer, a stretch, a thought of, oh, I love my bed, but I'm going to have to get out of it. I like to try to surround myself as much as possible with things that bring me joy. My bedroom, although it doesn't look like it from this angle, is just clean and easy to take care of. It has things in here that the pictures and the decorations, especially over here on this wall, when I wake up and look at them, I just feel like home. I really think sometimes, and I used to do this when I was younger, I just wanted a home that shined in a way that spoke my personality, or, showed elegance, style, expense. Yeah. I just wanted a certain image, and I didn't think much about comfort or ease of use. That's the truth. I think that's pretty much the truth as far as I can remember. I didn't always know how to achieve that because I'm not a professional decorator. But I'm going to end up using the end of this. This makeup, excuse me, that I got from Temu. It reminds me of Maxi. There used to be a makeup called Maxi? Maxwell. No. Not Maybelline. Not Revlon. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. But they had a stick makeup like this. Maybe it was Revlon, but anyway, they had one of these, and my grandmother used to use it. She was so beautiful, very dark skin. I wish I would have looked more like her instead of my dad. Well, what are you gonna do? Nothing. So anyway, this just sort of melts. Stick makeup doesn't always work out well for everybody. But if you have moist skin, and I put on moisturizer, it tends to kind of melt into your skin. I really like it. Okay, so I wanted to share with you today about rebelliousness. Rebelliousness is something that a lot of people have, I suppose, just by nature. I don't understand it. I had rebelliousness because it was a way to protect me from getting as hurt when things didn't go well for me, or if somebody was going to leave me. I had a rebelliousness that basically well, I just don't care. Flip kind of thing. I mean, I might not have looked like that, and I might have been messy through a breakup or a friendship ending, but not as bad as I would have been on the outside. Rebelliousness flares its ugly head sometimes. Sometimes it's good. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes, thank goodness for people who are a little rebellious. They can be the doers. That's the truth. They can be the doers. And I don't know. I guess there is a difference between being determined and rebellious. I'm talking about the kind of rebelliousness that sometimes people get hurt. It's just not... It's not graceful and it's not pretty. If you hear noise outside, that's the leaf blower. So some people feel like they're not rebellious, they have ADHD. I don't know if that's true. I don't know enough about some things to really speak on them, to be honest with you. I do know that there are people who have diagnoses that work really hard on the behaviors that are troubling them and their relationships in a way that improves what looks like is their diagnosis. For instance, there are a lot of people who are alcoholics but if you would have them diagnosed without knowing they were alcoholics, you would think they were borderline, bipolar, ADHD, or depressed. Well, it's chemical induced. That's all. What do you mean, that's all? Well, take away the chemicals and given some time, a lot of those behaviors start to clear up. It's a lot of lippy. The reason I'm talking about this is I've been seeing some older people talk about how they have ADHD. By the time I'm this age, I've got some world experience. And I can tell you that there is a line somewhere, and you have to decide where it's at. Where you do have more control than you have been given yourself credit for in controlling some of your behaviors. You know, I've heard people say, I'm going to try. But I have a very hard time with the level of effort that looks like on some people. can be very disappointing to be on the receiving end of, I'll try. I know I've been on that giver side when I was younger. And I can tell you that when I said I'll try, I just wanted to win whatever it was we were talking about. I would have said anything almost to win whatever it was I was afraid to lose, for me to make those kind of promises. I'll try. I can't tell you how many times I used it as a tool to win. That's it. Now, when I look at what I'm willing to do to win, I'm willing to do the work. That's the difference. One of the things that I do know is that when it comes to something as basic as not lipping off, that means I have to have the courage to withstand the discomfort that comes with my brain telling me I'm going to die if I don't say something. I'm going to explode. I'll be humiliated. Whatever that message is that's in my head that makes me open my mouth when it's certainly not the best thing for me to do. Right? I hope I'm making sense, because if someone had stopped all the therapy mumbo jumbo or all of the goody two-shoe mumbo jumbo and actually walked me through how hard it was to not say something when I wanted to tear into somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Or later thinking, dang, I shouldn't have said that. It's just, I'm telling you, there are people who are so rebellious that they will say what they want to say, whether it's blaming someone else for their behavior, or misplaced anger. You know, that thing we do when we're mad about something else, but we're agitated here, so we say something that's kind of nasty, but then we say, well, and then they're looking for an excuse why they said it or did it. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of rebelliousness. That line between not labeling the misbehavior, not labeling like, well, you did this and here's a teaching moment for you to do this or this or that. No, I'm talking about that internal engine that revs without you even pushing the gas. Old cars used to do that sometimes when the carburation was off. I think it was carburation. I don't know, but I can tell you this. It's a spiritual paradigm. I see it often, and especially when people get older and they think, not especially, I'm just saying, I'm kind of looking at, exploring some people that I know, and I gotta say right now, I'm really proud of one of my clients who is learning how to keep her mouth shut, because she has realized now there are certain things she does not want to lose. Certain things in her life she does not want to lose. But she was running her mouth so much because she felt like she had a right to. She was doing herself a lot of harm. As far as, okay, are you sure you want to keep this situation? Because if you do, you're doing just the opposite of what's needed. That's the truth. That's what was going on. So now, she was a perfect example of when we say we want certain results and that's not what we're getting. And we're not getting those results because we're not doing the things that would get us those results. And that's the truth. Well, they should know me by now. That's another false narrative. It doesn't matter how well someone knows you. It's about, do you know them? Oh my goodness. It's very difficult to try and get empathy when I'm going through my makeup brushes right now. Sorry. It's hard to get empathy from someone who is exasperated with the ongoing same old, same old. They get tired of hearing it. They just get tired of hearing it. That's the truth. And then, here's what's interesting. And it's not like they're going to leave. And I think we start knowing that. That's why we don't give up our position when we're rebellious. If someone's not going to leave, they would rather stay and fight than leave. Even though often they're threatening to leave. I don't know. I'm going to give up on you if you don't. They ain't going nowhere. Right? They're not going anywhere. I think it's about how do you want to reduce your stress level? That's a biggie. Do you want to reduce your stress level? If you don't want to reduce your stress level, then, obviously I'm not talking to you. It's just not, as I age, the biggest killer is stress. It's stress over time, and it starts wearing you down. So even though I might have been very stressed as I was younger, how can I reduce my stress now to kind of compensate for how stressful things used to be? I recently visited a friend who, we both have histories of being, I'll speak for myself, rebellious. I'm not going to put words in her mouth because I know she would call me on it. But her energy level is really high. And she speaks of ADHD. I have ADHD, blah, 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 all over. Very, that pushed voice and some things like that I think she associates with ADHD. But the point is that it's that energy level, I can't keep up. But instead of me saying, I need a break, I got caught up in FUBO, fear of missing out, because she's very entertaining. So I exhausted myself. Now, some would say, okay, you had fear of missing out. Let's look at that. Let's unwrap that. That wasn't it. There's hardly anything at all. that I haven't already done many times. It wasn't fear of missing out. It was rebelliousness for me, I think, of not wanting to give up. Not saying uncle. I didn't want to give up. So I started feeling grumpy. So then it took more energy for me to not act grumpy than the energy I was putting into any activity I was doing. You believe that? At my age. Fear of missing out. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, I wanted to hang out with the girlfriends. But it's not fear of missing out if you know what you're missing out on. See what I mean? I don't think. I don't know. Maybe it's different for everybody. What do you think? Fear of missing out. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to send her a thank you card sometime this week because she's very generous hostess. Really had a nice time. Incredible home. Just beautiful. So, I don't know. I may have not made a very good point, but I guess the point is sometimes we over-label ourselves in certain areas, and really, it's much simpler than that. Sometimes it's not, oh, I have borderline, oh, I have ADHD, oh, I have fear of missing out, childhood insecurities. Sometimes it's just cease fighting, let go. Stop, that rebelliousness of having to be right, having to see it to the end. You don't have to see everything to the very bitter end. Sometimes you can just pack your toys up and go home. I know, it doesn't always have to be a graceful exit. It doesn't. I mean, sooner or later, the people around you will accept it or they won't. I have such a good time hanging out with girlfriends. I really do. And then I'm not the most graceful person at saying, okay, I'm out. Good night. Have fun. But that's about how it is. It's like, okay, I'm heading out. And they're like, what? Wait, how'd that happen? I don't know. Sometimes you just got to give up. I'm out of here. I got to go get some rest. I have to go take the dogs for a walk or they're never going to forgive me. I haven't gone too long. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to get some housework done, play with the dogs, and then maybe take a nap before I take a long hot bath. Traveling is not something I'm going to do again in the very near future. All right. Love you. Bye for now.